that's not so far from me. And I am on Long Island. I'm in Suffolk County. I'm near Port Jefferson, which has the Port Jefferson ferry to Connecticut. So I live about 5 minutes from Port Jefferson. And I love animals. I have a dog. I have a cat. I had another dog. She was pretty old. She passed away in November. She was 16, a little more than 16. And we're going to be going to the animal shelter, hopefully, and getting my boy Lucky a friend. And I love Hebrew. I really do. I was a Spanish teacher and a French teacher in Hebrew, and I teach ESL to immigrants. I have mostly Latina women whom I love with all my heart. And I work for our local BOCES, and I also teach a class in the local library. So it keeps me going.
Very
Keeps me out of trouble. Well, not really. I'm partisan. Okay, so I wanted to know, I know you guys finished the beginning class, and I just wanted to know why. I'm going to ask everybody that question. I'm going to ask them to keep it brief, but I was going to ask, why are you studying as an adult? Why are you studying Hebrew? What's your motivation? So Elizabeth?
My motivation is to read the Torah in its original language.
Wow.
And I just decided that I have to do it. I love to read the Torah, and it's like my life's mission here.
Fantastic. Well, one of the things that I will do, starting with today, with every lesson, I will give you vocabulary, and I will explain the roots and the prefixes and suffixes as we go through them, so that you start to have a basic Hebrew vocabulary. And I will tell you one thing that I have found in teaching these classes, because I've done a lot of preparing for them. And when I was planning to teach a prayer, I would look at it and try to translate it myself, not looking at the English. And the same thing when I have a Torah reading this Shabbat from Kitavo. When you look at the Torah, the original Hebrew, even the biblical Hebrew, it's really very modern. And you look at the English does not do justice to the original Hebrew. So when you start to pick up the roots and key words, you'll be able to see the beauty of the original Hebrew. And the translation is sometimes a little bit off. Same thing with the prayers. In the prayer book especially, I've noticed some prayer books try to make the poem, it's a psalm or a song, they try to make it rhyme. And that throws off the real translation. And I'll show you today when we look at Shalom Aleichem. You probably sung that many times, but I'll show you what the words are. And when we go over the Shema and the V'ahavta, I'm going to, as I sent you, paper with roots, but I will show you exactly how to use them and how they appear. And we could break the word down. And there's Nancy. Nancy, yeah. I was trying to figure out, welcome, how to pronounce your name. So I thought it was Hyatt.
You're right.
Because you have high, yet.
Yeah.
Hyatt. Right. First I looked at it, I was going, Higgyet, and I go, can't be.
No, it's Hyatt. Nice to meet you, Carol.
So I'm here in Long Island. Elizabeth is in Palm Springs, was it?
Palm Beach. Palm Beach.
Palm Beach.
Oh, Palm Beach. That's different.
Yeah. Palm Springs and West Palm Beach and Royal Palm Beach. It's all Palm Beach County.
Okay, Palm Beach.
Okay.
I thought maybe next time you'll come in your bathing suit. And Dorothy is in New Jersey. Where are you, Nancy?
I'm in Seattle.
Oh, wow. That's the beauty of this. That's the wonderful thing. So,
Yeah.
Liz, I just asked the question, why do you want to take this class and learn Hebrew as an adult? And Elizabeth says, I want to be able to read the Torah. And I think that's admirable. And you probably will. Probably by the end of the year, you probably will be able to. Yeah.
Right. Very good.
What about you, Dorothy? What's your goal? Dorothy?
Oh, I'm sorry. My hearing isn't 100%, so it takes me a second to process. I am, like you, very, very active. I'm president of the Sisterhood for the 5th time.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm I'm also in charge of the Kiddush committee, so we prepare lunch every Saturday. So I was at shul from 9 to 11 this morning, or actually 11:30. So buy the food and whatnot. So I'm very busy. My parents did not think it was important for a girl to have a Jewish education. And I was very skimpy on Hebrew, and I went like 2 years and I learned basically nothing. So as an adult, I picked up a little bit here and a little bit there. I actually can read Torah, but I have more
Great.
trouble with the Hebrew than I do with the tune, you know?
Right.
I'm
Well,
actually,
biblical Hebrew there's a lot of add-ons, there's a lot of suffixes, you
I'm
know, and then
actually-
sometimes the words are very long and cumbersome.
I was actually assigned in a parsha for Rosh Hashanah, but
Ah,
it's a different tune, so, you know,
All right.
yeah, the trope is different, the high holiday trope. I usually have this one reading I do on Rosh Hashanah and one on Yom Kippur with the high holiday trope. But there's, what is it, 5 different tropes, there's all kinds of different things, like for Tisha B'Av, Purim, and then the scrolls, Shir HaShirim, the Song of Songs, and Kohelet, so those are the same. So there's a lot to learn.
What really got me interested is that you said you were going to go over the prayers in the Siddur. And, you know, some of them you know by heart, but then you don't, and I don't know where to bow, and this, that, and the other thing. So I am very interested in that part. So.
Good. So Debbie Lambert is one who is teaching the bat mitzvah class, and I was in touch with her. So the students who are having an adult bat mitzvah at convention next summer are going to, I guess, lead services and probably do some Torah reading. So she was going to give us a list of the prayers that they're going to lead. So I'm going to use that kind of like as a skeleton, as a co-curriculum to make sure that I cover those things. But actually, when I looked at some of the things that she said, it's things that we cover anyway that I've always covered. So I think we're inclusive. I think there's no problem there. Okay, so let's see, Nancy, and your reason?
I just need practice. I just, you know, I feel like I made great strides in the beginning Hebrew class last spring. And I just want to keep practicing and, you know, and get better.
Right, and it is really the practicing, and that's, my grandson just had a bar mitzvah this past Shabbat, and he had 5 aliyahs from Shoftim, there's 7 aliyahs, you know, on a regular day. And he had been studying, I guess, there Lubavitch, and he'd been studying, I guess, all year, where he raced through those, and I gabbai a lot of times in my shul, follow the reading, you know, and do corrections.
Right, right.
He went so fast, I couldn't even keep up. I couldn't find where I was. I couldn't find the place. Everyone said, oh, Mitzrayim. Okay, let me look for that word. I'll catch up with him. But he just, you know, and a lot of that was just sheer rote memory, working on it again and again and again to be so fit. Like I have a Torah reading, not that long for this Shabbat, but I started working on it last week. And now I can do it pretty smoothly, even with some of the words and the tenses that I'm not so sure of. The chatati, what does that mean? But it means you will not sin, from like al chet. You know. Hi, Charlene. So we have kind of a mascot friend. We have a friend who can't get enough of this stuff. And her name is Charlene, and she's in the bottom of my screen. Okay, let's see who else. Okay, Diane, why are you taking Hebrew as an adult?
Well, I had it as a child in Hebrew school, and I can follow along during services, but I'm a little rusty, and I would like to be brave enough to actually read the Torah at some point, but I'm thinking I might be a couple years out from that.
I don't think so. I don't think it'll be, I think it'll be probably by the end of the year. I see it says Michelle, but I don't see a picture. Are you there, Michelle?
I am here. I have a problem with my camera from my
Okay,
work
Michelle
laptop.
Fishman. All right. Well, let me ask you, Michelle, why are you studying Hebrew?
I am studying Hebrew because when my father passed away and I went to go say the prayer, I forgot how to read it. And since he was the first parent to pass, I had really never read it before. So I struggled with it and had to read it in English and then play it on YouTube for the Hebrew. So I decided I wanted to learn. I forgot. I knew all the prayers from heart from, going to synagogue. So I wanted to be able to actually read it. And I see Nancy was in
Yeah, I
my
was
class.
just, Michelle, I was just messaging you that I recognize your voice because I
So
can't
some
see
of
you.
you were in the same class.
Yeah, so we
That's
were in the
always
same
fun.
class.
That's really great. So
Yeah.
let me just see who's missing. I don't see Robin. Okay. And Dina. Robin and Dina are missing. Okay. So I will always send you the work before, a couple days before. I will try to be really good at that. And what we're doing. And if it's something with vocabulary, whatever, I'll send that out to you. Tell you what prayers we're going to be doing. And if you all have a siddur, and this is what I suggest, if you do not have a siddur, go to your rabbi and ask if you can borrow one. You're taking a Hebrew class and you'll return it at the end of the class. Okay, I mean, if you want to buy one, that's fine. You can go to the Rabbinical Association, Rabbinical Assembly, and I think they have that online and the prices, and they'll send it to you, but you can borrow one. And I think they'll just be proud of you that you're really doing studying and really using it for what it's supposed to be for learning and for davening, and I think that would be great. Okay.
So do you want us to print out the weekly things?
Yeah, if you can
even if we have a siddur,
because
yeah.
If you have the siddur, you don't have to. If I have questions of vocabulary or underlying things, if it's something special that I prepared, then yes. But like today, it's Shalom Aleichem, and it's Shema and V'ahavta. So there's nothing earth-shaking, nothing special about that, except for vocabulary. Okay, so Francine, why are you taking Hebrew?
Well, I've taken Hebrew as an adult, never as a child, because at that point, girls didn't do Hebrew.
Right, I never had a bat mitzvah.
I had an adult.
Boys, when they reach the age of 13, it's like magic. You're bar mitzvah. Right. And the shuls don't want to know about that. They don't want to spread that because then will be no more of the big parties and bar mitzvah lessons and all that. But so really, and when you get up and you say the Aliyah, that's really it. And I've done that so many times. So I guess I've had a lot of bat mitzvahs. I shouldn't feel bad.
I want to work on fluency. And that's what got me into your class. Because, I can read the letters, but I can't do it fluently. So I have a hard time following in the prayer book. I can do the V'ahavta because I know the melody. And so I can sing it along with that because I've heard it so many times.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but there's two different melodies. One is with the trope, the Torah trope, and the other one is that they teach the kids. That's the sing-songy one that they teach in Hebrew school. But anyway, if you take a class in trope, which is the melodies, then you'll be able to do it. So I just, Denise, why are you taking this class? I like the fact that you got a flag there.
Yeah, that my grandson insisted that we put that up.
Good, I love your grandson.
Yes, I'm in that bat mitzvah class, and I am what my Jewish girlfriend calls me a new Jew. I just converted about 7 years ago.
Mazel tov.
So we are all, and my grandson, he identifies himself as Jewish. So I want to learn to read, obviously for bat mitzvah, but I also, I'm like Diane said, I would like to be able to get up and read it at services if possible. And, read a Torah portion, excuse me. Because right now I do the Aliyah and I read the prayer before, but I don't actually read from the Torah.
Okay, so the prayer before is called an Aliyah. And when Jews go to Israel, because it comes from the word la'alot, to go up. So when they leave the United States and they go to live in Israel, they make aliyah. They don't say aliyah, they say aliyah, which means going up religiously and going up to the land of Israel. Doesn't matter where it is in relationship to the United States, but they're going up to the land. So when they call you up for an aliyah, you'll have to know your father's and mother's name. For a convert, they usually say Bat, Abraham, Sarah. Father's name will come first in the aliyah. Hi, Julia.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you? We're getting acquainted. I should be singing "Getting to Know You, La Briut."
Thank you. I'm glad everybody made it on this morning. We had some trouble with the Zoom lines this morning, or so the afternoon. Glad it's okay.
Oh, but the afternoon, we're good.
Good.
So
I just wanted
you had it all worked out for us. Thank you.
Good. Just wanted to come on and introduce myself.
I'm just asking everyone why they're taking the class.
Okay.
And interesting answers, very interesting. And we have people from all over. We have from Seattle to Palm Beach to Long Island. We are international. And
the four corners of the country there.
That's right. So Charlene, why are you taking this?
Can I just, let me just interrupt and just introduce myself for those I haven't met before. I'm Julia Loeb. I'm co-chair of the Education Committee and a Women's League Vice President, where the Education Committee is the group that's sponsoring all these classes. And
excuse me, my landscape.
It's nice to see some of you back and some new faces, and I just wanted you to be able to put a face with a name. So when I reach out to some of you, and just feel free to let me know if you have any questions or issues. I've already gotten some questions. These classes are all recorded, so in a couple of days they get posted, but just if you have to miss a class, know that you can always go back and see what you missed. And just again, feel free to reach out to me. My email's very simple. It's jloeb, LOEB, WLCJ. And I'll let you get back. Oh, her camera just went off.
I think I lost my, I lost it. There we go. Okay, we're back. Yeah, my landscapers very aggressively want to clean my front porch. I told them, leave a few leaves, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so the other question that I had for you was, and this you can send me a note, you don't have to do this now. If there's any special prayers or letters that you want to learn in particular, and then we'll include that. And the third question I had for you is, today I wanted introduction to do some easy things and just get going. But I also know that the high holidays are coming. And last year, before I was teaching the class in the summer, I went over some of the important prayers and some of the melodies and the meaning. So if you like, next week will be the 16th, and it'll still be about a week before Rosh Hashanah. So if you'd like me to do a little segment on high holiday tunes and prayers, I could easily do that, send that to you. So what do you think? Would you be interested in that? Or
yeah, definitely.
any nays? Anybody? No? We can do some of that, because I think that'll prepare you for the actual thing, for actually going to shul and being able to sing out loud. What do you say, Julia? It's frozen over there. Okay, these guys, I don't know, I'm going to have to pay them extra today. Is that okay, Julia?
I'm sorry, I just got kicked off, so I
I know,
missed.
you put your back. If I do a few prayers for the high holidays,
No, that's fine.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like to do that. Just, it gives us a feeling of starting at the beginning. you
Yeah, I
know,
was on
at the head of
some of
things.
the intermediate classes this morning. We're starting with Avinu Malkeinu today.
Yeah. When I
So yeah,
hear
that's
that
great.
on Slichot, I always feel that that's the beginning. When I hear Avinu Malkeinu, then I know it's time. It's ready. Start getting your menu ready for Rosh Hashanah. So Charlene,
Thank
you're
you,
joining
everybody.
us.
Bye, Julia.
Bye-bye,
Julia.
Julia.
Bye.
Thank
Take
you.
care. So Charlene, why are you
Hi.
with us?
I'm with you because I actually took Carol's classes. I was in 2 classes with her a couple years ago. And I didn't get to practice like I should have. And I really need to brush up on back to who I was before. And I asked Carol
Okey-dokey.
nicely and she said I could join her.
Right. So we're very happy you're here, Charlene.
And I'm in
Okay,
Phoenix.
so that ends my questions. Now, so let's take a look at if you printed out or didn't. Now, I have some page numbers. I have 2 books that I use. The one that I really like and I really know the thing is Sim Shalom. It's not Slim Shalom. This is a big fat one.
Yep.
I'm very fond of that one because that's the one that I always used to use when I really started digging into the prayers and practicing. Then they had a Slim Shalom, a Shabbat Shalom. I don't know. They had a whole bunch, a series of them. And the other one, because my synagogue then did away with the Sim Shalom and they got Lev Shalem, a full heart. But I'm still not 100% friends with that book. I'm not familiar with where the pages are. In Sim Shalom, tell me, find the Amidah. Boom, I got it. Find the Torah service. I got it. Those pages, actually, I think the pages just open themselves. Find the morning blessings. I've got it. But this one, I don't know. I'm just, and, but some of the translations in the Lev Shalem are very beautiful. And some of the side notes are very interesting. And I do refer to those. Okay, so let's take a look at Shalom Aleichem. I gave you, if you have, capability to print them out, fine. So I didn't give you the English, just gave you the Hebrew. And I think you probably all know the melody. When do we sing
Excuse me,
Shalom
what
Aleichem?
page is that in the Siddur?
Which Siddur, Sim Shalom?
Yeah,
Okay, Shalom. Okay, I think I wrote it down. Hold on.
And at 700.
In Sim Shalom, 722.
Oh, yeah, okay.
722 in the big. In Sim Shalom, it's in 722. In Lev Shalem, it's page 5. Okay, so when is a time when we sing Shalom Aleichem? Can you name a time when we sing that one? There's one time during the week where I always sing it with my family.
Friday night.
Friday night. Okay, Shalom Aleichem. Because if you look at the order of service, and it's something we did in the advanced beginner class. So the beginning is, well, if the husband wants to say something to his wife, okay, but you have the blessings of the children, the sons, the daughters, and then the blessings to everybody. We make a circle in my family, we put hands on heads and we do the blessing. And then we actually have a blessing that I found in the Reform, in a Reform movement site for a dog and a cat. And so we bless the dog and the cat. And then we sing Shalom Aleichem, which is so nice. And then we have wine, we have Kiddush, and we wash our hands, and then we have Hamotzi, the blessing on bread. okay? And it's our practice that after we wash our hands, we do not speak. Some families, they go, they sing a nigun, a melody or whatever, but anyway. So Shalom Aleichem. When you're in Israel, has anyone been to Israel? Raise your hand. Okay. Oh, great.
I
If
wish.
you meet somebody and you say Shalom Aleichem, what does it mean?
Peace be with you.
Peace, Shalom, and then Aleichem is onto you. Peace be with you.
Okay.
And the response, anyone know the response?
Alaikum hashalom.
Alechem Shalom, Shalom Aleichem, Alechem, just reverse it, Alechem Shalom. Which is really a very nice greeting, right? Peace be unto you in this unsettled world we live in. Doesn't it make you feel good when someone says Shalom Aleichem, peace be unto you? But in this song, we are talking to angels. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet. Peace be unto, or greetings to the ministering angels, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei, the angels of Elyon. Now, you've all heard of El Al. El Al is the Israeli national airline, and it means to the skies. El, to or towards, Al, above, to above. So Shalom Aleichem Malachei, and Malachei are the angels. Hasharet, the ministering angels, the serving angels. Malachei Elyon, the angels from on high. Mimelech, from the king. Malchei Hamlachim, the king of kings, and you know who that is. And then there's a descriptive phrase, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the sanctified one, the holy one, blessed is he, H-E. Because in Hebrew, who is he and he is who? Forget that. The word he in Hebrew means she. The word who, the way it's written here, means he, H-E. So from the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be he. So the Holy One is blessing these angels. Peace be unto the angels. Okay, and then we have Boachem l'shalom. Bo means come, come. I'm telling the angels to come, enter your house. I don't know, when you light candles on Friday night, I have learned that I have my yarmulke on, and then I go this way 3 times and cover my eyes. Does anyone know what that symbolizes? We light the candles and we do that. Why do we do that?
Bringing in Shabbat.
We're bringing
and peace.
in the Shabbat, and maybe the angels are coming into our house too. The angels, okay, the angels of God, the presence of God, holiness. We're bringing it in. We're not pushing it, bringing it in. All right. So Boachem, come. Boachem l'shalom, come in peace. Come in peace. Malachei Hasharet, ministering angels. Malachei Elyon, the angels from on high. Mimelech, from the king. Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim. Melech is king. Malachim is kings. From the King of Kings, they're sent from God. And Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be he. So we're bringing in that Shabbat, the peace, the end of the week into our house. Then on line 5, it says, Barchuni l'shalom. Does anyone recognize what root Barchuni? The first 3 letters give you a hint. Anyone recognize that root? Root is a shoresh. Hebrew is built on 3-letter and 4-letter roots.
Baruch.
Baruch, right, Francine. So Barchuni means bless me. Bless me. Barchuni l'shalom. Bless me with peace. Malchei HaShalom, the angels, the angels of peace. Malchei Elyon, the angels from above. Mimelech, from the King of Kings. Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed is he. Now, when I get to the fourth stanza, I go like this, because the angels have come. I guess it's sort of like Santa Claus makes an appearance at every house. So they probably can only stay for a few seconds on the angels on to the next house. So I welcomed them, but then now they're on their way again. So it says, Seitem, Seit, let's say, go out. Seitchem l'shalom, go out, leave in peace, go in peace. Seitchem, so I go like this, okay, I'm saying goodbye. Seitchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, angels of peace, malachei elyon, angels from on high, mimelech, from the king, malchei hamlachim, king of kings, hakadosh, baruch hu. So this, if you're going to have a song for Friday night, I think this really sets the mood. Okay, you're getting a special visitation. You can't see these angels, you don't see angels, but you get the feeling it's Friday night. If you work during the week, you can kick back and relax, light the candles, a little wine, a nice meal, sometimes company, family. And so it is a challah, you know, it's not a regular meal, it's special. Does anyone bake? Anybody bake challah? I did the Women's League thing once. And I made the challah, and I had never made challah, and I thought, oh my God, they want a scale, and my scale wasn't working, and my oven starts at 250, and I thought this is going to be a disaster. So I, what the heck, just have fun, make believe I'm playing in the mud. So I mixed the stuff up, put the thing in a big bowl, put it in the oven, and I had tried challah once or twice before. That came out the best. I wasn't sure of the amounts or whatever, and the temperatures, and it came out nice and high. Then I did what they said, and I twisted it, and it came out great. That was beginner's luck. But after the scale went kaplooey, and I had to give it back. All right. So, have we all learned Shalom Aleichem in beginner's class? It was the name of your beginner's book. Okay, and then I like that book very much because it led you to certain letters. It didn't go the alphabet route. It took the shin and the lamed and the final mem, and it taught you those components of the words, and it drilled so that you could sing this song, the name of the book, which was really fabulous. So, does anyone have a nice voice and would like to volunteer to sing it? Elizabeth? You have a nice voice. So we might all try, but let's just go and review the words. Okay. So it's like couplets. It's sort of like Shakespearean here. You have 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to look for 4 volunteers, and there's so much repetition of the phrases. That's nothing to get too upset about. There's a lot of repetition here, and these are phrases that you know. So who would like to read 1 and 2? Come on, you can all do this. You've done this a million times in your beginner class. Go ahead, Francine. Show them how it's done.
I sing it. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu.
Okay, fantastic. Brava, bravissima. Beautiful voice, beautiful. Who would like to sing or say, sing or read 3 and 4? Interested in good reading? Nancy?
Sure.
Okay, I learned how to say your name.
Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech, malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu.
Mitzvah, your beginning teacher did a great job with you guys. 5 and 6. Diane, you want to try it? Are you you have the, okay, no.
I unmuted.
Go ahead.
I do not have a very good singing voice.
Then you don't have to sing it. You can read it and we will love you just the same.
Oh, thanks, but it needs to be sung, so I'm gonna try it. Barhuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Sorry, mi melech, malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu.
Beautiful. Good job. And 7 and 8. Charlene, are you up for it? Would you like to try it? 7
Yeah,
and 8?
but I promise you I will not sing. Say l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech, malachei hashalom, hakodosh baruch hu.
Okay. Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Now, once before we tried all to sing it together, and because it's on a Zoom, we were kind of a little bit off. The timing was a little bit off. So I will not offer that right now. Okay, it's almost 2 o'clock, so I want to move on to the next thing. So the next is like the pivotal prayer, right? You would say that Shema, if you had to say one prayer, that's like the most important prayer, the definition of our faith, the Shema. So what does the word Shema mean?
Here, or listen.
Hear or listen. Shema Yisrael. Okay, and it's not just one person whose name is Israel. It is the Klal Israel, all Israelites, all you Jews. Listen, Israelites. Adonai Eloheinu, the Yud He Vav He, the Tetragrammaton, 4 letters. The Lord our God, Adonai Echad. God is one. So we are a religion that is older than Christianity, and we have this philosophy of monotheism. And it came out of with the story of Abraham and the idols and his father. In the time of Abraham, they had wooden idols. They would try to feed them. They would pray to them. So that's not monotheism. That's paganism.
Right.
That was idols. And Abraham kind of had a different idea, thinking, wait, it's a piece of wood. I'm not going to pray to a piece of wood or a piece of stone. He said, I don't think there's many gods. He says, I think there's one God that is the ruler of control of everything that we would pray to. And mono is one. So theism is a belief in God, religion. And so monotheism comes to us from Abraham, from the Torah and Abraham. And it is a world, it is a world belief that it's like one of the cornerstones of civilization. It is a major idea in our Western civilization, the idea of one God. And then along came Christianity, and it's different. But as my Christian friends, they study the 5 books of Moses, the Old Testament that they call it, and the New Testament. So we were the building blocks, and they added to it. So we really, there's a lot of similarities in Christianity and Judaism, believe it or not. So Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear or listen, you Israelites, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Okay? And then this line, it says, you don't say it quietly unless it's Yom Kippur, when we say it loud. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch, blessed, Shem, the name, Kavod, the holy name, Malchuto, the king, forever and ever. Blessed is the name, the holy name of the king, forever and ever. And we saw that in Shalom Aleichem, God is referred to as Melech, or Melech Malchei Hamlachim, the King of Kings. So I had a question for you, which I think is an interesting question. If I asked you, what do you love, or who do you love, you would all say my family, my dog, my cat, right? You would say that. But I did ask the question in a different way. I said, what is something that you love? And how did this love develop? No dogs, no cats. I know, Charlene, you can't. Where's the cat? But is there something else that you love? A pastime or just a place, something that you love? All right, let's just go quickly. All right, Elizabeth, I love reading. I love reading too. And I would say I love gardening. I love plants. I love living things. Okay, Dorothy, something that you love?
I'm lost because I didn't understand what page you were on. I know the.
Okay, but next time, if you get this, what I sent you, if you could
Well, I have the
print it out.
I have the Sim Shalom. Just hold it up so I can see the page.
Okay, so in the big Sim Shalom, it's 202.
284.
Okay, I have in my Sim Shalom, I have it in 202, but it's in several places. Do you have the fat Sim Shalom, Dorothy?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. It's in 202, Kriyat Shema. The reading of the Shema.
All right, I'm looking at page 284. That's what it said.
284, let's see. Yeah, it's also on 284. It's in
Okay,
many places. 284 is good too. Okay,
okay.
so when we talk about the Shema, most people think it's just that line, Shema Yisrael, the declaration, and then the first paragraph. Does anyone know how many paragraphs are there in the Shema? And they come from the Torah. They come from the Torah. Anybody know how many paragraphs? As a matter of fact, you will see under there's three paragraphs. The second one is from Deuteronomy, and the third one is from the book of Numbers. Okay, so something that you love, Dorothy, something you love?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna pass. I'm just trying to follow what you're doing here.
Okay, Diane, something you love?
I love scrapbooking.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Denise?
I love to cook.
Good. Nancy?
I love walking.
Mm.
God bless you.
Charlene?
Great.
I love doing stitching projects.
What projects?
Cross stitching, needlepoint.
Nice, very nice. Francine?
My first thought was ice cream. But then I thought, what has been a long time love is music and dancing.
Oh, great, great. Michelle, something you love?
I love watching University of Florida Gator football. I get joy from that.
All right, we have a great diversity here. It's really wonderful. I have a little knitting group. I went to the library once and I said, I'm gonna really try to learn how to knit. And I sat at a table with the best knitter, by luck, the best knitter in the whole place. And we formed a little smaller group. And because they disenfranchised our knitting class, so then we decided to meet every Monday in each other's houses. And of course, you know, when they came to me, I had tea and coffee and cake, you know. So then they all started to do that, you know, to have a little. Then it got bigger, and sometimes we'd make a lunch. That I just finished a sweater I was working on for about a year.
Wow.
And I was so proud of myself. I'm going to wear it this winter. It's going to be great. So I really got to love knitting, and I found it relaxing. And then I'll show you another time, teddy bears that I make, and we made it for a tzedakah project. It was something to be sent to Africa to children that had AIDS. There was a special organization, so we were making teddy bears, and we sent a box. There's a place out west, and we sent them and then to donate them. Okay, so I took the paper that I sent you. I gave you on a page 9 different roots. the root letters, mostly it's 3 letters, 3 Hebrew letters. Those Hebrew letters have to be in that same sequence. So the root means those, when you see those 3 letters, that is the basic meaning of the word. Sometimes it will have a prefix, something added on at the beginning. Sometimes there'll be some letters added on at the end, which you'll see in the Shema. But if you can start to learn to identify the roots, you will start to understand Hebrew. Now, just think, when a child is learning how to read, I've seen teachers in kindergarten and 1st grade put all the key words, like the basic 100 or 200 words, on the window shade. And the kids see that all the time. When you start seeing the root letters and start understanding what they mean, your reading will get better. You'll recognize those roots. And even if something is put in the beginning or the end, a prefix or suffix, you will be able to read that better. And I'm sure of this because when I read Torah, even if it's a difficult portion, I look for the roots in each verse that I can figure out what is being said. When I know what I'm reading, it's much easier for me to read it, because sometimes it'll say your this or our this or my this, and it's just much easier to recognize, because when you're looking at the Torah, there's no notes, no musical notes, no trope,
No vowels.
and there are no vowels. So you need to recognize the word, because if I had CT, it could be cot, cat, cut, right? It could be many things. But if you recognize the root, you'll be able to pronounce it better. It really is like that. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Let's all say that together on the count of 3. Okay, put your finger on the word Baruch, right? 1, 2, 3. Baruch, together. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Okay, who can read that nice and smoothly? Somebody want to read that nice and smoothly? A volunteer?
I'll try.
Okay, Denise, go ahead.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malkute Leolam Va'ed.
Okay, 4th word is Malchuto, the Vav with a dot. I used to tell my students in Hebrew school, the Vav is like a person. When the dot is on the head, it's like, oh, my head. If the dot's in the middle, it's, oh, my stomach. And the dot on the bottom is, my feet. There's a mouse at my feet. O, U, E. Yeah, well, 7th graders, hard to engage them. So Baruch, Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. What final letter do you see appearing twice in that line? There's a final letter that appears once and one that appears twice. And a final letter, he was called Sofit. Okay, so do you see a final letter?
Yeah.
Look at the word.
The D.
Look at the word Shem. Mem, Sofit, mem. Okay, final mem. You have a regular mem, it looks different.
Oh, okay.
Final mem is, okay. And what other word is a final mem in that line?
Leolam.
Leolam, forever. So Leolam Va'ed means forever and ever. Blessed is his holy name, the king's holy name forever and ever. Okay, there's another final letter in that line.
The Chav Sofit.
Right, Chav Sofit. You have a Kaf, a Chav, and a Chav Sofit. And so that, the word for palm is Kaf. Okay, so you have a Chaf and with a dot, a Kaf, And this is a chaf sofit, a final chaf. We always see it in Baruch, right? Baruch. Okay, Baruch, Shem, Kavod, Malchuto. There's a chaf in the middle. Le'olam, Ba'ed. Okay, in that same line, can anyone recognize it appears twice, a silent letter? It's also the Hebrew word for eye. Eye, like your eyes.
Oh, Ian.
Ayin,
Lion.
ayin. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Ayin, tachet, ayin, shin, tachet, shin. The ayin appears in le'olam and va'ed, and it's silent. So when you have it in the last word of that line, it's va, and then the only pronouncing, of course, the the three dots, the the segol, and the dalet, va'ed. And in le'olam, you have the lamed, and then you have silent, and next to it is an o vowel, o my head, le'olam. Okay, so this the final letters. Everybody knows their final letters. Okay, and in Shema, okay, the only ones you hear are the shin and the mem. Shema, and the ayin is silent. Yisrael. Aleph is another silent letter. So under the Aleph, you have the tsere, the two dots, A. Yisrael. Okay, then Adonai has no vowels. We are not supposed to pronounce that because that's supposed to be God's holy name. So we don't have any vowels on, and we're not supposed to really literally try to pronounce it. Then we have Eloheinu. They have an Aleph, Lo, Hey, Nu. And there's one with the dot in the middle, your stomach, Lo, on my head, Hey, Nu, Adonai, Chad. So make sure you know your vowels. We can review anything you want, vowels, final letters, silent letters, any letters, the whole alphabet, whatever. Okay, so if there are requests for several particular letters, like an ayin or chaf or final chaf, I'll find a page, send it to you, and we'll take 5 minutes and we'll just drill that letter or letters, okay?
Okay.
Because advanced beginning, you should really feel comfortable about pronouncing the vowels and pronouncing all the letters. And then, of course, there are some special combinations, right? There have to be special combinations. All right, now, I gave you 9 roots. So, holech is walk. On the bottom of the page I gave you, shechav, lie down, kum, get up, kasher is bind, katav is write, ahav is love, sav is command, like from mitzvot, commandments, daber, speak, and yoshev. I want you silently now in your homes with this paper. I want you to, if you have the paper, do what I did. I took a pencil and I underlined where I found the root, the word that has the root. And remember, it has to be the same exact, like Bahalech, it has to be a hey, a lamed, and a final hub. It has to be in that order. So see if you can find, go on a little, on a little hunt, a word hunt, and find in the V'ahavta, find the words that include these roots.
I'm gonna get a highlighter.
Well, you have 10 minutes. Let's see if we can start finding this together. What I did was I numbered the, if you have the paper, I numbered the lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to make it a little easier to find the line. Okay, so holech, did anyone find a word that has a hey, a lamed, and a chaf someplace in the middle?
Hey, Ahmed. What was
Oh,
it?
actually, how about just a hey and a lamed?
Ah,
Well,
I just,
on the, yes, on the first line, behold. Like,
no,
no,
that means
no,
all.
that's wrong. Sorry, wait,
Well, because just if you find one with a lamed and a chaf in a verb, the final chaf is on the end.
right.
A hey and a lamed would be Eloheinu.
No, a lamed. Yeah, but that's God's name. That's not a verb. These are all verbs. These are all action words. So look at line 4. Look at the 4th line. Well, I think it's a little bit different in the Siddur. Okay. And you have the word uvelech techa. You have the lamed and the chaf, but it's not as a final chaf, so it's a little tricky. In line 4 of the handout I gave you, it says beveitecha uvelech techa, and as you're walking. How about shachav? The same line. Look a little further on that same
Right.
line.
Ufshach b'chach.
Very good.
Second to the last word.
You see that funny looking the kamatz uveshoch becha shachav. And there it shows up as a bet, not a bet, but you have a shin, chaf, and a vet, shachav. Okay, what about kum, or just a kuf and a vav, kuf and a mem even?
Last word. Uvakumecha.
Right, uvkum, yeah, uvkumecha on the same line. So you have uvalechtecha, baderach, uvashochbecha, uvekumecha, and you see the kuf, the vav, and the mem right in the middle, and they're always in order. The kuf, the vav, and the mem. They have to be in that order. How about kasher? That's talking about binding the tefillin on your arm. Look at line 5.
The first word in line 5.
Right.
How do you pronounce it?
Ukishartam.
Mhm.
Perfect. Ukishartam, and bind them because there's 2 straps. One is on your arm and your hand, and on the tefillin, the other one is on your head. Bind them. Okay. And what about katav?
The next line, the first word in the middle.
Right. And it is
Uktavtam.
nice. So it's uch tav tam. Lichtov means to write. Okay, what about, oh, hey, we talked about love. And this Shema is telling you to love God. It's commanding you. Yes, Diane.
The first word of the prayer.
Which is
V'ahavta.
Mhm.
v'ahavta.
Mhm.
V'ahavta. V'ahavta. That means, and you shall love. And where is tzav? Look at this second line, the last word.
Right.
Can anyone pronounce that? Second line. Did you study the v'ahavta last year? Or is this all new?
No, we studied it.
Okay.
So,
Mitzavcha. So you see tzav, you see a tzadi and a vav. Mitzavcha. Okay, what about daber? Speak.
I have that on line 2.
Line 2.
right.
Well, that means the words. On line 3, vidibarta and speak. So these are all verbs, but nouns are made from the same roots as the verbs, like words are devarim. Okay, and about sitting?
What did you say, sing or sim?
Sitting.
Oh,
Look at the
sit.
last word in line 3.
Sit, yeah.
Shivtacha. And sitting in your house. Okay, now let's slowly try to read this. So I don't know whether you studied it or not, or how well you remember it, but I'm going to read a few words. I want you to read it after me all together. Stay together, okay? I'll read it first. Yes.
Okay, before you move to the next thing, the last word on line 3, b'shiftecha. Are you
Shivtacha.
okay? So are you
Shivtacha.
b'shiftecha? So are you saying the root word in that word can be just the 2 letters, the shin and the bet?
Yes, yes,
Oh.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah, because
okay.
these are
Okay.
like Yoshev. If you say Lashevet, Yoshev it's in the, when you know Hebrew grammar, it's Ani Yoshevet al Hak, you say I sit. But yes, it's those 2.
Okay, I was ruling out
Okay.
anything that didn't have 3 letters.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm gonna say it slowly, listen and repeat. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha. Everybody.
Yeah.
V'ahavta
And
et Adonai
Elohecha.
Elohecha
B'chol levavcha.
B'chol levavecha.
Uvechol nafshecha.
B'chol nafshecha.
Uvechol meodecha.
B'chol me'odecha.
V'hayu hadivarim
Hayu hadvarim
ha'ele
Ela
asher anochi
Anochi
mitzavcha
Mitzavcha
hayom
Hayom.
al levavecha
Alevavecha
v'shinantam
Vishinantam
levanecha
Levanecha
v'dibarta bam
Vidibarta Bam
v'shivtecha
Vishivtecha
v'veitecha
Veitecha
uvelechtecha
Ulechecha
v'derech
Vaderech
uv'shochbecha.
Uvishachbecha.
Now, the reason that's not uv'shachbecha, did you learn about this? That when you see that letter is called a kamatz under the shin. When it's bigger, or in a prayer book, darker, it has a sound of awe, like the old Ashkenazic Hebrew, not the modern Hebrew. Modern Hebrew pronounces it ah. Old-fashioned Ashkenazic Hebrew from Europe would be awe. Uv'shochbecha, uv'kumecha.
Kumecha.
Ukishartam
Kushartam.
leot
Leot.
al yadecha
Al Yadecha
v'hayu.
Behayu
I'm fine. How are you? Letotafot
Totafot
bein einecha.
Enecha
Yes. Uchtavtam
Uchtavtam
Did you say that again?
al uchtavtam, like you don't like something. Uchtavtam
Tavtam.
al mizuzot.
Mezuzot.
That's the plural of mezuzah. They're talking about putting a mezuzah on your door. Mezuzah, mezuzot. Beitecha. That's your house. Uvisharecha. Ta-da! And that's, so there's 3 paragraphs. This is the smallest one, then there's 2 more. And just one thing, if you wear a talit, you'll notice I wear a talit and I have a kippah that my Catholic friend knitted for me. Crocheted, she crocheted it. She made me 2 because I said, Lucy, do you think you could, I gave her one that was in wool and pink wool. And I said, do you think you could make me a kippah? And she said, yeah, sure. So she made 2. Okay. So I think that maybe next week I will pick maybe some of the vowels and do a little vowel review. And then maybe the following week, do some of the final letters.
Sure.
And some of the ones, God bless you, that like with a kaf and a chaf, okay, where with the dot, a bet and a vet, a shin and a sin, where the dots will go dotty, make you crazy with all the dots. Okay, and I didn't want to make you crazy, but the word mitzavcha, there's a tzadi and a vav, and there is a dot in the vav, but it's not mitzau, mitzavucha. It's there for emphasis, and that's like Hebrew 102, it's not 101. You know, it's the emphasis, and sometimes those dots will make you dotty because you're thinking, oh, is that a vowel? But if you recognize that sadi and the vav as a verb, you know that that's a vet. I mean a vav. It's got sav. It's a sadi and a vav. It's not a vowel. It's a command you.
Where's that word?
Well, in my sheet, it's the last word on line 2. And these are the words that I command you. And what you're being commanded to do is to love God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your might, with all your strength. Meldech, with your strength. It doesn't mean you should go around punching people, but it means that your faith should be strong. Okay, so the ahavta, the first word, and here's another conversation, which we won't do now because we're out of time, but can you be commanded to love?
Right.
If somebody commands you to love. So my question, when I asked you earlier, sort of hinged on this idea. I was thinking about this, and I said, what is something that you love? And the other question that I wrote down, which I didn't ask you, how did this love develop? And here is God. Here in this prayer, it says, you will love the Lord your God. Boom. And so if we take a look at that and answer that question, how does love of God or love in religion, love of your religion, how does that develop? That's a question to think about, because most people would say you can't be commanded to love someone or something. But yet this prayer is a command. The ahavta is definitely a command. You will love. The ahavta et Adonai Elohecha. You will love the Lord your God with all levavha. Your vav is your heart, levavcha, and all your soul, your nefesh, and all me'odecha, and all your might. That's pretty strong. With your heart and your soul and your might. And you shall love. You are commanded. And this is the Shema. If you said, what is the most important prayer in Judaism? Everybody would say Shema. It is the keystone prayer. And we should really learn how to say this fluently, at least this paragraph. Then singing, if you know how to sing it, like I said with the trope, Ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavacha v'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha, and so forth. That's the Torah trope, because it comes from the Torah. Yeah. But it's an interesting theological question. How can you be commanded to love some being you can't even see? And you don't know if that being is there. And I'll end with a very quick, I know it's time. There looked like when my son was very small, in his nursery, in his room, there was something that looked like in script, the letter Hey. So it looks like an ear. And I was diapering him and I looked up and I see this on the wall and I went, oh my God. It's like, it's a sign. It's God is present. And it was so startling. It was a smudge on the wall, but when I looked at it through my eyes, it was the letter Hey. And it has happened other times to me when I have seen like the sign or the symbol for God. Now, I'm not crazy. I'm not off my rocker, but that startled me, seeing that. I looked up and said, oh, that's a Hey. Oh my goodness. So maybe I was loving God through my child, through my infant. The love of my child, is a strong parenting love, and you can understand if you can say if God is like a unity that protects us, that is around us. We can't see, but we can feel. Maybe that's the same sort of strong bonding relationship. We just have to accept it, even though we can't see it. I don't know. It was just a very strange feeling. So on that happy note, Shabbat Shalom. Does anybody know those students who were not, I think I'll call them Robin Friedman? I know that Janice, she said she got COVID and she didn't feel well. And Dina Bauman. No, nobody knows. Okay, well, I'll have to call them and see how they are. So it was lovely meeting you all. And
Thank you,
next week,
Carol.
Thank you,
same
Carol.
time,
Thank you.
same
Thank
time,
you.
Thank
same
you,
in the
Carol.
same station. Okay, so I am going to definitely do some review. Like I said, I'll pick a review page from a review book. I'll send it to you. We'll go over the letters because, you know, the classes are 1 hour every week, and you did it for what? 5 months, 4 months? So it's not that many classes. Is it like the same as a college class? I don't know. Is 30 hours? Is it? I don't know if it is, but anyway, I understand that you're coming from beginner and advanced beginner, and it's been a big summer. So we'll review and don't feel intimidated. Hebrew is a beautiful language. And the more you learn, the more you love. It really is.
Yeah, you're right.
And hopefully you'll feel that when you can feel a little more fluent and singing those songs and saying it along with your cantor or your rabbi, you'll feel real proud of yourselves. So it's a goal and you'll get there. Everybody will get there at their own time. Don't judge yourself by anybody else, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.